this is Jenny with Planner Perfect and designsbyplannerperfect.com. Today in this little short segment video, I'm going to be talking about how to make best use of your time. I know that we've kind of, you hear it everywhere on how we need to stop going on Facebook and wasting time here and there, and I'll even notice through my Facebook feeds, you'll see people who say, oh, today, adios, today's the last day you'll see me on Facebook. It's just totally overused, takes too much of my time, and nothing against you all, I'm out the door. So, and then the next day, I see them back on, like what they said the day prior never even existed. It's hilarious. But my point here today is especially, us moms. I am a homeschooling mom of 8, and you've got to really, when you're mapping out your life and you are taking note to make sure that you've got your day mapped. The biggest thing that we need to hone in on is what we're doing with that byproduct time. All of that time that's spent, whether you are waiting in line or waiting in the car for picking up your child, or those times when, in between where, even you're sitting on the sofa kind of staring at a TV set, or all of those different odd times that aren't allotted for anything in particular. That's the kind of times I'm talking about. Those are the kind of times, though, that we ought to be taking advantage, especially us moms, because our days pretty much are wrapped up in a lot of just serving and taking care of our families. And to take advantage of those pockets of time that aren't allotted for anything is so advantageous, and they add up. So our goal as women is to definitely be able to identify who we are outside of being our children's mother. And once we do discover that, we're going to be so invigorated and so excited that this is really going to make a lot of sense, and you're going to want to take advantage of that time. You'll notice that the more you really are just into the role and you identify yourself with your role only, that you'll feel like all of that byproduct time should solely just be for you, and and so you'll veg, or you won't take advantage of that extra time you have as much. You'll more want to you're so depleted and exhausted, and that you'll waste that time. I want you to know who you are outside of being your children's mom, so therefore you can be invigorated in your own goals and your own pursuits. Even being a stay-at-home mom, you can most definitely do so. And if I can do it, you can do it. What I like to do, being a mom of 8, I've created Designs by Planner Perfect, which is a site that is devoted to women's planners and journals, and my art is on them, and so is my son's, and that takes up a lot of time. And to be able to keep up with the business and pursue my dreams, I've had to be able to be disciplined in some areas. So what I've done is a good time to find time for you and to pursue you is going to be the early morning. So I like to get up at 5 when I can. It is definitely something that should be something that you strive for. 5 o'clock is a really wonderful time to wake up. You've got a good couple hours. Now, whether you homeschool or not, 5 o'clock is still a good window where you've got at least an hour to yourself. What I've done, and has been something that I've been habitually doing, which is really great, is just lying in bed after it's like 5 o'clock. You lie in bed and you're just kind of going over the day, and it's a great time to kind of pray to God, go over His promises, and affirm those promises. So you can also really get that vibration going, that great vibration of just saying, today's going to be an amazing day. I feel wonderful today. I love to plead the blood, so to speak, and kind of ask God, which is one of His promises, of protection. And so I affirm that and state that protection over my family in the morning, saying that wherever we step and wherever we go, that thank you, God, for protecting my family and granting us favor over my family. And I will list off each one of my family members, and that's how I kind of start my morning, which is really a great way to begin. So once I get up and I do that, I do knock off my top 3 chores that are very important that needs to be done in the morning to ensure a smooth sail. So that for me is my shower. Number 2 is I get the dishes out from the night before, and then 3rd, I get my laundry going. Now, I have age ranges from 23 down to 3, so the ones that are really home and vital are going to be my 13, my 12, my 8, and my 3-year-old. So those are the ones that kind of are coming at me and are going to need me, and we do homeschool, so there's certain things that need to be done and what we're going to be doing in our day. So once I get those done, then I take time for me, and this is when I paint, when I get into my planner, and when I do some devotions and work in my devotional traveler's notebook and such, and quiet time. So this is something that's vital and I do for me. So I will get that type 3 banged out, and then I will go ahead and pursue and roll into my stuff. Now, if kids start trickling in, I now am ready for them and ready for the day. So as you can see, that's really taking advantage, creating time and taking advantage of some time, because it's the only time in the morning that you can really control is in the morning. So I got that banged out and going on. Now, let's see if whenever I've ever nursed, or if I'm ever at a time where I'm in a stall, or like a stall of time, that's a good time. I'll always grab a book. I always have my favorite books. If my little guy wants to snuggle or something and sit and be together, sometimes if he's just kind of engrossed in a movie and it's been a little bit, I'll kind of grab my favorite book or something that helps me grow personally, and I'll go ahead and I'll take that time to kind of grow and learn. So that's another kind of time. Time in between when a child is, or they're occupied and playing with cars, or they're busy, then sometimes I'll take that time again for get another load of laundry going, or then that's another time that I can sit and do something where I'm either reading, planning out, envisioning something for me further and for my families, things like that. So those kind of pockets of time are completely vital. If you're aware that you don't want to waste time, then that's all that it takes. So once you know that you can take advantage and grow from each of these little things, it's just for the best. What I even do is for my even self-care, I'll write into my planner if I notice that like my nails need to be done, or I need to paint my toenails, or I needed to make sure that I do like a conditioning on my hair. I actually will script that out in my planner, and I'll allot it out, and I'll write down how. That's why my planner is very detailed, because when you are having a lot of children, or even if you're not, the details is what creates the success, because you're actually you're writing a statement of intention. So when I do that, I will say, okay, I need to do this, I need to paint my nails, I'll be doing this. And I'm going to go ahead and take advantage of it when I think he'll be napping, or if I will create a time where I think, okay, you boys can go play outside, and then I'll go attack my nails. And so it's just really making sure that you are creating and maneuvering your time to better you and grow, because each planner in your planner and in your plan book, to me, it's like each page should be a page of growth where you are moving forward, and your planner should not be something stagnant where you're just taking the day and trying to fit it in. You're creating your days and you're mapping it out, and you're adding more to it each day, pulling from your monthly goals and creating something for you to move you toward your dream and your goals, as well as your family life and bettering your family, creating traditions and doing things for them that make your family purposeful, and the way your parenting is and the way your mothering is full of purpose and intent as well. So that's what all of these mapping out and doing is for. We can get into that in another video where I can kind of really show you the nitty-gritty of how I plan and map out my life. So watch out for that. That will be another video. But if I ever do take a child somewhere, I know one of my daughters goes to the barn and rides horses with my oldest, and I will go, and if I'm in there, I'll sit there and watch her, and I will then dive into my planner and fill out some goals, some of my goals that I want to achieve, and big time goals even. So every little pocketed time I devote to something that I can either learn or grow. Now, not all the time will that be. Sometimes just laughing with your children and having a good time and devoting yourself just to them at that moment is what the right thing to do is. But you know what I'm talking about. Certain times where, it's just empty time. Use it to your advantage. And that's what the difference between a woman who's headed somewhere and a woman who's just really staying dormant. And So just take note and be aware of the times wasted. And that does mean Facebook. And that does mean the endless scrolling and just mind-numbing scrolling that's getting you nowhere in this life. Always pursue everything that you're doing that's going to better yourself or better your family. So, is it okay to look through Facebook? Yeah, it is. But if it's something that you are always doing as a mind-numbing scroll, then yeah, you're going to want to make sure, am I really mapping out a life that actually grows me and takes me somewhere? And that's what you want to take note of and make sure. So be aware of all of that time that is just that byproduct time. And also, of course, creating time for you and making sure that you're taking care of yourself and your goals and your own pursuits so that you can gradually grow and develop and pursue them as your family grows. And there'll be different times and different seasons when you can pursue different things, and you'll know when the time is that you can do that. I am a mom of a lot, of 8, and I've been able to create something and still be home and homeschool. And by creating time, being deliberate in my intentions, and mapping out the kind of life that I desire and the type of life that I want. And so I make sure, and I'm always learning to be on the kind of vibration that that gets me there, that takes me there. I'm watching when I don't want to be grumpy. I want to attract what I truly want. So that's why you want to make sure that you're not a mom who's constantly grumpy, or you want to stay on a good vibration where you are always thinking of what you desire, not so much what you dislike. So in your day, make sure too that you are always kind of affirming and saying what you love and what is good, and pulling and harvesting all of the good out of your day. Even though as moms we can have a lot of bad dumped on us, always try to harvest out the good, because the more we do that, we stay on a higher vibration, and the bad will dissolve, because we only can attract what we're putting out. So that is a huge reminder for us moms to always remember, because I can be one of them, and as I've learned that the more you try to you just kind of emit that bad vibe of your bad day and kids getting on your ever-loving nerve, the more we're going to attract that kind of bad vibration right back at us. So remember that. You want to always stay on a plane of high vibe so that you can always just be thankful and feel blessed, and harvesting good in all that does come at you, because you know that it will. We have a choice in how we respond, and that is what's most important, is that to remember is that you do have a choice in how you respond to the adversities in our days. So prep yourself up for success, make time for you, be useful, and very vigilant of the byproduct time that you'll find in your day, those pockets of time and waiting and just silence any of those pockets. Use them wisely, and even right before bed. And also just always remembering to affirm your day and harvesting good from your day, because God created this world to be of joy and peace and prosperity and happiness, and those are his promises. But until we understand that law of vibration that he does have for us, we'll be able to feel and be and have that cycled back to us. We can't be grumps and complain and expect good to come out of that. So that's it for now. I hope that I've inspired you to take some time to look at how you are behaving in your days, and to make the right changes so that every day you are planning forward. Until next time, bye-bye.